Hello there everyone. Today I want to show you how to make this basic Kumihimo bracelet but incorporating chain into the design. And this is what it looks like. So this is just a basic 8-strand Kumihimo braid, but I've replaced some of the cords with chain. This is quite a fine chain. So this is the effect that you can get. I think it's quite nice on its own. So you get a nice pattern on it, and then that chain just gives an extra twist to it than a regular braid. So you can obviously use it like this. I think it gives a really nice effect just wearing it like this. But also, what I think is really good about it is, because you already have your chain incorporated into the braid, this would actually be brilliant for a charm bracelet, because you can just use the links in the chain that's in the braid to then attach charms onto. And then you can obviously make it interchangeable if you want to. So this is quite multi-purpose design, I think. And it's just to give you some ideas of using different materials for Kumihimo, so you don't only have to use cord for it. So if you want to learn how to do this, then keep watching. And these are the things that we're going to need. Now we'll need our round Kumihimo disc first of all, because we're making a basic 8-strand round braid. And then we'll also need our materials here. I've just chosen to work with a satin cord, and this is a 1mm satin cord. We could quite easily change that out for some other type of cord as well. And then also here we need our chain. And now this specific chain, this is quite a fine chain. It doesn't have to be this specific kind of chain, but just it does kind of need to be quite a fine chain to blend in nicely with the cord. This specific one is 2 by 2.5mm in the lengths, and this is an overlink chain. And again, I've just chosen a silver one, so it's kind of like a black and silver colour scheme I've got going. But like I said, you don't have to use these specific materials. You can just use similar type things and experiment with your own. Like the satin cord, you could use leather cord instead maybe, and that would give more of like a rocker type look. So anything you can think of really. So let's get all your materials together and then let's get started. So to get started, we first need to get our materials ready, and this is what I've done here. So I've cut some lengths of both my cord and my chain, and because this is a basic 8-strand braid we're doing, what we need to do in this case, I'm replacing 2 of my lengths of cord with 2 lengths of chain. So that means I have 6 lengths of my cord and then 2 lengths of my chain. And all of these are the same length, and I've made them all for about a normal size bracelet, just make them roughly about 50 centimeters long. But you need to cut all these, and then at the end, I've just put them all together in a regular knot just to hold the ends together here. And then we can place it onto the disc and start making the braid. So we get our board out, and then we take our cord and chain here where we made the knot, and we put that knot through the center of our disc. And then we need to distribute all our cords and chain around the slots on your disc. And like I said, this is just a basic 8-strand braid, so don't worry about the numbers on here. All I'm going to be focusing on is the dots on the board. And then I'm going to place my cords and chain around that. The only difference is I'm going to put my chain into certain slots to get the desired look that I want. And I'm going to take my first length of chain around on the left side of my top dot here, and then I'm going to take a piece of cord and place on the other side of that dot, like so. And because you're using a fine chain here, it will go into the slots. You don't need to pull it all the way through to the very inner part of the slots. You can just, so it gently holds it there. And then I need 2 lengths of cord around the side dot here. And then also I'm going to use 2 lengths of cord around the other side dot there. So now all we have left is the bottom dot here. So I'm going to take my last length of cord and put on the left side of that bottom dot, and then the right side I'm going to put my chain in. So if you're looking at your disc, your 2 lengths of chain here are diagonally opposite each other on your disc. So if you put a line down the center here. And that's how you want to set up your disc with your chain and your cord to achieve the look that we're going to be creating. So I now have all my cords and lengths of chain set on my disc here, and then on the back side you'll have your knot sticking out from the very center of the disc here in the hole. And what you can do if you want, you can either attach some wire or some length of cord to help pull it down, or you can even put a weight on there as well if you feel comfortable doing that. But in my case I'm just going to show you like this. And then all we need to do to start the braid is start like we would do a regular 8-strand braid on your Kumihimo disc. Now the way that I do that, and that's just what comes natural to me, I usually start with my top left one, so on the left side of my dot, in this case it's just my chain, and bring it down. You want to stay on the left side of the bottom dot here, so stay on the left and then just put it in there. And then to complete this set, take the right bottom one, so on the right side of that dot, bring it up, stay on the right side. You always want to stay on the same side of the disc, and then to the top here. And then you want to turn it to get onto your next set, and then just do the exact same thing. So bring your top left one down, stay on the left side, your bottom right one up, stay on the right side. Like that, turn it again, turning it the same direction. Your top left one down, and then your bottom right one up. And as you can see, we're alternating between using the cord and the chain, and that's just how it works out. Just work with it as if it was all chain really, sorry, all cord, that you normally would with the Kumihimo braid. But like I said, this is just the way that I do it. But you can quite easily take your top right one and go down and then up first, or you can start from the bottom, go up and then come down. It completely doesn't matter. It's whatever comes natural to you really. And you can also turn it just the other way. That's absolutely fine as well. And actually with this braid you can even turn it back or forth in between sets. It doesn't really matter because it's a basic braid here. I just prefer doing it the same direction just to get into the habit, so when you start doing other braids it comes more natural to you. You're always going to turn it the right way or the same way. So this is just how we're going to build up the braid. You just keep doing this, and then on the back side your braid will start coming out longer and longer here until we reach the desired length. So I've now kept braiding for a little bit, and like I said, you just want to keep doing the same thing so you get a consistent braid. And then I just want to give a little tip. If you're in the middle of braiding and then you need to put it down for some reason and go do something else, instead of finishing off a set like I just have, because it might be difficult, you put it down and then come back to it, and then where do you need to start? Especially if you do more complicated braids than this. So one tip is, if you start a set and then bring that one down or up or however you work it, but instead of completing that set, leave it in the middle of that set, and then you put it down and do whatever you need to do and then come back to it. And then you know that where you have 3 in this case, I know that this is my next one that I need to bring up like that to then complete that set. And then you just continue. And that's an easy way to remember where you've been if you leave it to do something else. But then on the back side you'll see a braid coming out, and it'll look something like this. And then this is the effect that you can get using the chain in place of some of the cords. And as you can see, you have a distinct pattern to it because of where you placed your lengths of chain, but because it's chain instead of cord, it gives a completely different effect to your braid. So I really like, this is a really nice effect on its own I think, and you can wear it just like this as a nice bracelet. That'd be really nice. But what I also really like about this is you basically have a ready-made charm bracelet as well. Because you have chain incorporated into the braid, you can just use some of these links to attach some charms or something to it, and then obviously make them interchangeable if you want to. So that's just another thing you can do with this braid as well. And then otherwise, you just want to finish off your ends, take it off your board, tie a knot when you've reached the length that you need it to be. Finish off your ends like you would do a regular Kumihimo braid. I do have a video on how to do that, so I'm going to link that in the description box if you need to have a look at that. But then otherwise, this is the look that you can achieve using this technique. Just replacing and experimenting with some materials. So I really hope that you enjoyed this tutorial, and thank you very much for watching. Hello there everyone. Today I want to show you how to make a Kumihimo braid. This particular one is like a checkerboard braid, the pattern on it. I think it's quite cool. There you go. Obviously it'll have the best effect if you're using 2 colours, but still you can, like always, do anything you can think of, anything you think will look nice.